Hey YouTube, welcome back to another video. My name is Joshua Williams, and today we will be talking about cryptocurrency and why it is important and why it's the future of money, it's the future of the banking system, it's the next layer of the internet. And it's one big conglomerate of all that, not separate entities. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be all controlled through this new system. And this is about to make more millionaires and make more money than any time in history because of this, new technology. So let's talk about it and what is it? Like what is Bitcoin, right? Like if I said, what is water? Water is H2O. It's 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom put together, right? And yeah, like that's water. So like what is Bitcoin? Like what is it made out of? What is it, right? So let's explain what Bitcoin is, right? Okay, let's start right now. What is cryptocurrency and what is Bitcoin? Okay. Crypto is a decentralized money. Bitcoin is a decentralized money. It's different cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is one of them. You understand what I'm saying? So, and they use blockchain technology. Blockchain technology, I should say, is a decentralized way of computing, okay? It's a decentralized way of computing, okay? So meaning it's a decentralized money. So whatever you're doing, whether it's decentralized internet, whether you want to use it for money, whether you want to use it for security, it's still decentralized. It's not controlled by one person. Okay, so let me explain what this means and why this is so important and why it's going to take over everything, right? So centralized means something that's controlled by one person or have a single point of failure, okay? So let me explain something like what that means. Like, so you have today, right? We're in 2024. We live in the United States of America. We've printed $33 trillion since we've been a country, okay? Now, why is this important? Prices of goods have gone up a whole lot from like 100 years ago, right? If you rewind 100 years ago, back in 1924, a lot of things were a lot cheaper back then. Want to know why? Because it was way less money in circulation. Right now, we have $33 trillion in circulation. Back then, we probably had $1 trillion in circulation. So that would mean everything was 33 times cheaper back then because it was 33 times less money that we valued all of our commodities under and our currency, basically. You understand? I have to get my screen back open, sorry. So let me continue though. So with that being said, a lot of stuff was cheaper back in the day, right? Like if you want a gallon of gas, right? Or if you wanted a car, if you wanted a house, everything was cheaper. So a gallon of gas was probably, right now it's $6, right? But if you go by the math of inflation and you go back 100 years ago when it was about, hold on, my bad, y'all. If you go back 100 years ago, right? If you go back 100 years ago, gas was about 33 times cheaper than it is now. And you can do that quick math right now. So this is where you're gonna learn really quickly why about inflation and economics. This can make you rich just learning this one concept. Why was things cheaper 100 years ago compared to now? Why was gas 33 times cheaper than it is now? And you can do the calculations right here. I'll pull up a calculator real quick. Gas is $6 now, right? If I divide that number by 33, it equals what? 18 cents, about. It's an infinite, that's cool. Infinite, 18181818, infinity. But anyways, basically, if you go back 100 years ago, back when we had $1 trillion in circulation, gas would have been about 18 cents. And I know that makes sense, right? Because we all know gas was a lot cheaper. So let's just not do that. Let's say eggs, right? Let's just say eggs. Let's not even do gas. We know eggs right now cost a little bit more than a gallon of gas, right? Eggs right now, it's gonna cost a little bit more than a gallon of gas. Probably like $10, right? For a good carton of eggs, the brown ones, not the little cheap ones. Probably even $11. Let's say $11, right? Say it's $11. Divide that by 33. Boom. It was about 33 cents. You see what I'm saying? So the gas was 18 cents. The eggs was about 33 cents. This makes sense. So let's go to a house. Let's see $1 million house. Let's say right now a house is $1 million, right? If you go back some years ago, you divide that number by 33 because like I said, it's $33 trillion right now in circulation. Back then it was 1 trillion. So that means things were 33 times cheaper. This is inflation. And this is the reason why Bitcoin is going to take over everything because it's not controlled by a single person. So they can't keep printing money and just print money all the way until you devalue the currency. And now you can print money and give it to who you want to give it to, and you make who you want to rich. And one bank can have all the money, or one country can have all the money. You understand? So let's do this 1 million divided by 33. It says that's about 30,000. So if you go back on the price of a house about 100 years ago, it's probably about 30,000. And if you look up the calculations, this is all facts. So I'm teaching you something about money. It's mathematics. You can actually calculate how long a country's currency is going to be valuable by how much they're printing it. You understand? So if they're printing it, they can give it to who they want to. They can make, anybody rich, basically. They can do, like back in the day, 100 years ago, black people didn't have a lot of money, right? We probably had $100 to our name, right? And then you go to some, regular other families, like they might have had $10,000, right? You time 10,000 times 33. I mean, the average family that wasn't black probably had about $300,000 in wealth back then. We probably, let's say, because they say most black people had less than $100 back then, way less than $100, right? So let's do $100 times 33. So that means most black people didn't even have $3,000 in the bank. And if you fast forward now, we pretty much ain't got too much more money. So this is basically me just showing you how a country can control the money and give it to the people they want to. They can give it to even other countries. Like if you go to Taiwan or Nigeria, I don't know, anywhere in Africa, anywhere in Asia, a lot of places in South America, Mexico and all these, but their currency is devalued because they keep printing more of it. You understand? So the governments can control who's getting rich and control it. That's why Bitcoin is taking over. You understand? They only have 21 million Bitcoins. That's number one. We're talking $33 trillion. You understand that? Like that means they were printing millions of dollars every day. It's only 21 million Bitcoin, and they can't print more of them. So you can understand why this is going to be the future of money. You understand? And only 900 are produced every day. They produce millions of dollars every day. And you see how basically right now, if you got some money, you probably, I got a little money in my pocket, but it's getting deflated through value. Imagine something like Bitcoin. It's only 21 million of them. They print millions of dollars a day. Okay? And it's still valuable. Imagine something like, that's why Bitcoin is 67,000 or 69,000 as you see right now. See right here, Bitcoin is 69,000, okay? The reason it's 69,000 is because people are putting money into it. They're not selling, and they even have an ETF. I'm gonna explain that to you too. That means banks are buying Bitcoin. This is a fact. As you can see, Bitcoin ETF right here. You feel me? This is showing you right here. They have a Bitcoin ETF. You can look it up, okay? The 7 best Bitcoin. They just released these ETFs a few months ago, like 2 months ago. So that means ETFs are forever. That means for the next 100 years, banks are buying Bitcoin. So if you know it's an asset that's only 21 million of them, if I just explain inflation to you, right? That's like if they never printed more dollars. So that means your dollars would be worth a lot of money right now. That means, like you remember when we was kids, we can get 4 bags of chips for $1. Now one bag of chips is $1. You get what I'm trying to tell you? Bitcoin, see, the value of the dollar went down. That'd be like if Bitcoin could still like so you can understand. That'd be like, you know how the dollar is less in value, right? And now you need a whole dollar to buy, 1 bag of chips. And if the dollar was Bitcoin, you would still be able to use that dollar to buy 4 bags of chips. Not only 4 bags of chips, you'd probably be able to buy 20 bags of chips. You see how it went down in value in the other version of money. With the decentralized version, your money goes up in value. I hope this is making sense, y'all. But this is why people need to start to understand. That's why countries and corporations are starting to switch over to blockchain technology, okay? So let me explain to you some more stuff about blockchain technology, okay? So who controls blockchain technology? Why is it decentralized? What does it mean, right? It's not controlled by anybody, okay? So basically, it's controlled by the people that, like even with anything, even a bank, right? Banks validate transactions. That's why you need a bank, to validate your money and your transactions, right? But the bank can lie and be like, oh, well, my friend is Bob, and I say, Bob, in his ledger, I say he has $2 million, not $1 million. And then this other dude, DeAndre, I say, in my bank, I want to make it to where, his transactions cost more than his transactions. So now after so many transactions, I can manipulate transactions, meaning like, transfer of wealth, meaning like I can manipulate, I can add money to a system, I can take money out of a system, I can do all kind of stuff just because it's a centralized version, like the ledger. Like, banks are just basically, so you can understand the concept of banks. Banks lend money, they write down what they lend to you, and you pay them back. You understand? But they'll put interest that you never would have known and accumulate, and that's how the bank, and they'll print more money too on top of the interest. So that's how your money devalues over time, right? With Bitcoin, everybody can see everything that's ever been printed. You can see it's only 21 billion Bitcoin, 21 million Bitcoins. You don't know how much money is in the world, right? Because it's behind closed doors. You can see on the blockchain, it's only 21 million. You can see every transaction that was ever recorded because it's not controlled by one room in one centralized room of computers. These computers are ran around the world. So anybody that's mining Bitcoin, right? Like I told you, they print the money. You can print the money by mining Bitcoin, right? So, sorry again, you guys. Gotta keep touching the screen or it's gonna go blank. But anyways, so Bitcoin is controlled by the computers, the global network, okay? So let me read this right here because, I don't want to keep on like rambling, okay? So, okay. It's controlled by the nodes, the code or the tech, the people of the world that have these computers, these nodes. So Bitcoin is leveraging electricity, okay, to validate transactions. So we don't need banks anymore. We can send money back and forth to each other, not worry about them printing more money, and we validate the transactions. So we get paid in Bitcoin. So now we are essentially the economic system. We are essentially the banks. And that's why this system is starting to take over the world. You understand? And it's creating a faster system because it's more computers ever ran in the world. I mean, it's more computers running Bitcoin than there is any other thing, whether it's Apple, Amazon Web Services, Google, it doesn't matter. That's all centralized entities, right? That's why I told you crypto is the future of the banking industry and the internet, because all banking and internet has to do with what? Computing, validating transactions, okay, and being transparent. Bitcoin is more secure, it's more speedy, and it validates more transactions, and it's transparent so everybody can see that this is true, not just one person in one building that controls the nodes. Everybody can see this is true. Everybody can see it's only 21 million Bitcoins, and that's why Bitcoin is $69,000. Do you get it? Because it's only 21 million of them, and people are putting money into it, okay? Okay, so you can understand. So it's a global network of computers that are making something decentralized, okay? And we're validating our transactions, okay? On the blockchain, which is, give me a second. So I'm trying to read so you can understand this, okay? This is kind of technical, right? Okay. It's only 21 million Bitcoins. I'm just trying to, put these dots together for you. It's only 21 million Bitcoins, right? Each person can mine Bitcoin, not just the government, not just one person can print some money and put in a bank account. You can't do that. It's only 21 million of them, and we all have our computers open trying to help validate transactions so we can get a reward or a piece of the pie, okay? So this creates a faster, more secure network than ever possible. That means the apps you build on the blockchain are going to be more secure and unhackable. Okay, so Bitcoin is unhackable. That's why you can hack a government bank and steal some money. You see what I'm saying? You can't hack a Bitcoin, and if you did, and you know where the money went. See, you can hack a bank's servers and you won't know where they sent the money to. On the Bitcoin, the blockchain, it's millions of people watching, so you can't hack it. You understand that? And if you did, somebody would know exactly where you sent the money. So you literally can't do it. Do you see why this is going to take over the future? And do you see why it's 21 million? It's only 21 million of them. Do you see why it's 70,000 per coin? As you see right here, it's because it's only a few of them, and it'll never change that. And people are starting to put money in because they need it for their tech. Okay, so you can understand. So getting in Bitcoin right now would be like getting in Apple stock back in 1990. If you look up Apple stock back in 1990, I couldn't look it up right now, but you will see it was about 32 cents. Okay, and Apple, it's still technology. It's needed, so it's something that we need to this day. So it's like if you was to get into something like that is going to be around 30 years from now, that people are going to keep buying, and you can't make more of them. What's going to happen to the price? It's going to go up a lot. Do you understand that? Okay, so I hope that basically answers all you guys' questions. You feel me? Like about, what Bitcoin is. I done kind of went over that. So let's get into a couple more topics, right? Let's get into a couple more topics, y'all. Let's get into what a commodity is, right? Because Bitcoin is now a commodity, so I'm going to continue to talk about why Bitcoin is important. What is a commodity, you guys? Right here. It shows you, examples of commodities. We're going to go here. Examples of commodities. Commodities include agricultural products such as wheat, cattle, energy products such as oil and natural gas, energy. That's why Bitcoin is considered a commodity now. By law, and I'm going to show you that too. By law, Bitcoin is a commodity now. You're going to see why this is so important, okay? And just in case I have to skip it, and I might actually make this into another video, but I'm going to still keep this a part of the video, so I'm going to just say the intro. Hey, YouTube, welcome back to another video. Today, we're talking about Bitcoin being a commodity, okay? So what is a commodity? Examples of commodities are agricultural products such as wheat and cattle, energy products such as oil, natural gases, and metals such as gold, silver, aluminum. These commodities are the only thing that's worth anything in this world. Remember that. Every country, every bank, every institution values their, portfolios, their net worth about how many commodities do they hold, okay? So now you just seen silver, gold, aluminum, copper, and oil, like, gas, these are commodities. These are the big dogs of finance. This is like the definition of money, or what money is backed on. You know how they give you money? The reason why they can give you money because they're backing their dollars on how much commodities that their country or their institution or their bank is worth, okay? And now you're about to realize, now I'm about to Google, is Bitcoin a commodity? Because a lot of people don't know this just happened. Virtual currencies such as Bitcoin, right here. Yes, virtual currencies such as Bitcoin have been determined to be commodities under the Commodities Exchange Act, okay? Under the Commodities Exchange Act. This is a new act, like the Boston Tea Party back in the day. This is written in legislation. This is law now. This will be here forever. Bitcoin is considered a commodity forever. How do you determine if something is a commodity? In the United States, it's determined under the Commodity Futures Trading Exchange Commission. I just clicked it on accident. But anyways, right here, let me go back so you can see what I just clicked on, for matter of fact. This is right here. This is the Commodities Futures Exchange Commission. This is a touchscreen, so I just clicked with this, but I'm gonna click it on here. So you see, this is the governmental body that by law in the United States says if something is a security or a commodity, okay? Bitcoin has an ETF and is labeled a commodity under the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, which is and you look this up, the SEC is the people who determine if something is a security. Bitcoin is regulated under the CFTC, which is the people that regulates commodities. So Bitcoin is a legal commodity. As you can see here, this is the CSTC.gov website. You cannot make this up. So Bitcoin is a commodity. That means Bitcoin is gold. That means Bitcoin is oil. That means all these banks, and it has 10 ETFs, okay? Okay, so Bitcoin just received 10 ETFs in 1 year, okay? So you can see right here. Right now, they're talking about the 7 best ETFs, okay? All right, so an ETF is something to where banks in the stock market, people in the stock market can get into Bitcoin. This is the first year that people in the stock market can get into Bitcoin, okay? And just in case I make another video about commodity, let me go ahead and get my little, hey YouTube, welcome back to another video. Today we'll be talking about ETFs. Okay, so like I said, it's 7 ETFs right here that they have under Forbes.com, like they're showing you like their favorite 7, but it's 10 Bitcoin ETFs. They just made them now in 2024. So that means Bitcoin made it to the price of what? 69,000 without any banks buying it, without any countries buying it. Just because of what I told you in the other videos before, go check it out, and earlier in this video about Bitcoin being decentralized and only 21 million Bitcoins. You understand that? And basically how the price is going to go up a lot because of that. Because I told you it's $33 trillion in United States money, right? All throughout the world, even if somebody got $1 in Mexico or China right now, because people trade money all around the world. If it's the US dollar, it's still a part of that $33 trillion circulation, okay? That's why 100 years ago, when it was only $1 trillion in circulation, things were a lot cheaper, okay? like 33 times cheaper. And we already did the math on that. So you can see, this is why Bitcoin is 67,000, right? And that was without the banks buying it and without no countries buying it. So how high do you think Bitcoin can go now that we have 7 ETFs on the stock market? It's $50 trillion in assets on the stock market. Imagine that. $50 trillion in assets on the stock market, you guys. Bitcoin's only worth 1. And that's just the stock market. I'm not talking about global liquidity. It's $500 trillion in global liquidity. And Bitcoin is the best thing ever in existence when it comes to monetary policy and when it comes to circulating supply, right? Everybody knows what circulating supply is, meaning how many of something is in existence. This is the best thing. There has never been nothing that was only 21 million of them. It's not just 21 million homes, but homes are worth $1 million each, right? Homes are worth $1 million each. And it's way more than 21 million homes. How high do you think Bitcoin can go now? Now that you know it's only 21 million of them, and the whole world is going to start buying them. Just like they do property. The whole world buys property. The whole world will start buying Bitcoin one day. If you just take the real estate market alone, that's like $100 trillion, $200 trillion. The stock market, another 50 trillion. Other global liquidity, another 300 trillion. This means Bitcoin can go so much higher, y'all. If all this money in the world starts to flow into it, which it will, because we know this is the best technology ever, and people don't want countries and banks controlling how much money they have. So, yeah, man, it's this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So that's the big deal about cryptocurrency, you guys. You should understand it's a big deal. Very big deal. This is the most, this will create more millionaires than anything in history, okay? This will create more millionaires than anything in history. This is very important, okay? So, hold on, give me 1 second. Give me a second.